I was literally in a shack.
Yeah.
My dad's shack in the backyard with my best friend printing t-shirts. We launched Drip and we did 4.5 million our first year. If you're an influencer with over 100,000, you wore Drip. I get an email from Bloomberg Business. Do you care to comment on your recent lawsuit with Nike? What are you talking about? Like, what lawsuit? We're not in a lawsuit. I'm going through depositions for the first time. 15 lawyers, and I have one lawyer.
You finally get served.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like, I actually want to know, how do you approach this? Because you're like, okay, we got money, whatever, but this is Nike. Welcome back to the MBH podcast, Money Buys Happiness, guys. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you guys for always showing love. Like this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Do the fucking duties.
Also, go follow us on Snapchat, actually.
Yeah.
At MBH Podcast on Snapchat.
Yeah. We're flying out there.
There's going to be some exclusive content.
Yes.
That you cannot find anywhere else.
Yes.
Okay?
We're going crazy. We'll drop the link in the description. Guys, we're back home in Toronto. You already know.
Sick side.
Yeah. Always feels good to be home. Always feel good to be in the stew. This is where everything began. Ernesto, who the fuck is in the building with us today, bro?
Frankie Quiroz, baby.
You already know.
Is that good? I pronounced it nice,
yeah, you
no?
got it right.
So you're like, for a little bit of a bio, you're pretty much a legend in the e-commerce space.
I mean, I wouldn't say legend.
Well, you're not going to call yourself a legend, obviously.
We will, though.
But we will.
I'll be a legend one day for sure.
One day?
Yeah, one day.
Legacy?
Sure. Legacy.
I don't know. The numbers I seen you posting, bro, those are legendary numbers to me, dude.
We've done some cool stuff for sure.
How old are you right now?
I'm 31.
31.
Yeah. I look like 25.
You could do a 24, 25.
Yeah, 24, 25.
Got some good genes.
But yeah, bro, that's good. So you're 32?
I'm 30, yeah.
30? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
27, so I'm a little bit younger.
27?
Yeah.
All right.
We gotta take it back, because obviously I think a lot of people have seen your success and you promote it well, and I would say maybe for a decade you've been killing it in the space that you've been in. But before that, before the success, before you started businesses, who were you? What were you doing? Let's say maybe when you were maybe not a kid, but maybe teenager.
No, even let's even go back. Let's go back to like your childhood. I'm curious because we see you now, all this money, doing amazing, building these companies, 7-8 figure companies. Like, I want to understand what conditions you grew up in.
Yeah, bro. So like your typical rags to riches story, and I hate talking about the childhood, the story stuff, because it sounds so cliche with all these like, entrepreneur gurus always trying to like brag about their childhood and shit. But I'm first generation American, so my parents immigrated here to California.
Okay.
When I was like through 2 years, I don't remember really, but I was actually born in America. So my parents basically like came illegally to America.
Okay.
I was born, they went back, and then they came back. So it was just so I can like be birthed in America and become an American.
Okay.
Crazy story, bro.
Smart though.
Very, very smart. But basically what happened is my dad ended up coming back when he was like 16 years old, lived under a bridge, like with nothing, bro, not a single dollar. His life is a movie itself. Met my mom, and then had me. They separated when I was like 4 or 5 years old, so shortly like after I was just a kid. And because of that, I grew up with a single parent lifestyle. First generation American. They had no money, nothing at all. So I'm going from like one place to another to another. It was basically getting evicted
from each place.
Because my mom couldn't afford to pay. My dad was kind of broke too. So just going from one place to another. And then I remember there was a moment when I was 7 or 8 years old where I was getting dropped off at school. I had a best friend. His name was Zach at the time. And I remember like our car broke down right in front of the school, and he passed through, and I said, "What's up?" And I realized something at this moment. I was like, yo, how come his car is not breaking down, but mine is? And it was right in front of the school. So I was a little embarrassed. And when you're 7 or 8, you don't even feel embarrassed about anything really.
Yeah.
And you don't notice brands. You don't notice logos. You don't know.
This kind of
you
stuff,
don't know what rich is, what money is. And like in that single moment, I started to see brands of cars. So, like a brand new Corolla. That's amazing. We had like a piece of shit Honda that was breaking down. Alexis. I started seeing all these different brands, and I started like asking my parents, well, how do you get those nicer cars? How do we do that? How do we do that?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, mijo, we don't have money. And basically, like, I like devoted my life there and then. I told myself, when I get old enough, I'm going to do everything I can to get this money in the most legal and ethical way possible. So from then on out, I fell in love with skateboarding culture. Moving from place to place kind of brought you into different areas. Like, I grew up in different hoods where in one moment I'm hanging out with a bunch of like gangsters that'll fucking kill you if you say the wrong thing. And then in another moment I'm hanging out with punkers and skateboarders. And then like, I grew up in different areas learning like all these different types of like cultures and experiencing different music. And I feel like that's what kind of led me into clothing, was just that childhood of moving from one place to another.
Okay.
And then eventually, like, I went through high school, I turned 14, and that's when I came to the conclusion, like, yo, I got to do this clothing stuff. I'm obsessed with clothing. I'm obsessed with like creating designs and stuff like that. And that's when I started my first t-shirt company.
So 14.
What was it called?
Oh, bro. That's called Sick Tees. Terrible name.
Let's go.
Terrible
Sick
name.
Tees.
That was the first time anyone's ever asked me. It's terrible. You know your first one's the worst, right?
Of course.
God,
test
yeah.
dummy.
Terrible.
Sick Tees.
Look, I had all the right ideas. Like, I had the visions, but I didn't have the money and the resources to bring them to life.
True.
So I remember starting this clothing brand, and I went to a manufacturer, and they told me, cool, we can do everything you want, but it's going to be like $3,000-$4,000. That could have been $1 million for me and my family at the time. And what we ended up doing, because we had no money, is my dad looked at all the different printing machines. They're called screen printing presses. And he basically built one made out of wood. So literally out of wood, bro.
Crazy.
He like looked on the internet, he researched it. I had a buddy where he had one, and we would go there. He would like literally take pictures and videos, and he designed a wooden press, and it was like the most ghetto rig thing ever because you had to put a brick to hold down the screen, and we would squeegee. Oh my God. And I was obsessed with it, bro. Yeah. I was literally in so when people say the shack, I was literally in a shack.
Yeah.
My dad's shack in the backyard with my best friend, printing t-shirts.
Damn.
All throughout high school.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask, did you have the support from the people around you? And I guess so. You're saying your dad built you a wooden printer.
I was like rich in the family sense of like love, like for sure. I had all the support.
Even with the
world.
Separated parents, you still felt that.
Yeah, so I had like double the amount of support. Like my parents, that's like the one thing they didn't fail to do was support. They like put it in my head like I could be whatever I want to be. In the world, and they never held me back. So they would drive me to places and stuff like that.
That's unreal. I wanted to even ask about the cultures, being around all those cultures at a younger age, being around different people. Was there a type of culture or a type of group of friends that you hung around that you liked more or inspired you more to do something? Or was this kind of like a mashup of all the cultures together?
You guys know what cholos are?
Yeah.
Bro, like I hung out with nothing but like cholos and gangsters. Like where I grew up, guys, in Riverside, you couldn't, I hear people like on YouTube going around like saying like, yo, top G.
Yeah.
If you walked around my neighborhood where I grew up and you called yourself a top G, there would have been a top G there to check you real quick. And you'd be lucky to come out like living another day in that neighborhood.
Okay, so with that around you though, how don't you end up getting into the gang stuff? Because I'm sure that was hard to say no to if that's who you were hanging out with at that age.
I think I was just so driven about the money and the mission that nothing was gonna hold me back. Honestly, like they protected me a lot. I remember the first day I ever stepped into my high school campus, there was a fucking Royal Rumble of blacks versus Mexicans, and I was like a little scared chihuahua, bro. Imagine stepping to high school. High school's already like intimidating for anyone. And I get there and it's on graduation. So it's like literally like right before I'm about to start freshman year. Yeah. That previous year of graduation, Royal Rumble on graduation day. That's someone crazy. Gets stabbed, bro. Oh. Blacks versus Mexicans. And I'm like, this is the school I'm going to go to. I'm fucked. Yeah. And so I just made friends with like all the right people. Like they definitely had my back, took care of me, and at the end of the day, like I feel like I'm a cool person with everyone. Like I don't have like a lot of pride, a lot of ego, and I'm just about me and the mission. And I think that no one really like held me back because of it. If anything, they supported me. Like I've always had support for sure. Most people that grow up in like areas that I grew up in, they get accustomed to that. They think that this is the rest of their life. This is what it's going to be. I'm going to live in this area for the rest of my life, live under my parents' roof and work at a warehouse somewhere, whatever it is. But what I saw like on TV, it was like MTV was huge. And I would see like other people have like fancy dinners and do all these different things that were outside of like Riverside. And I was just telling myself, if they can do it, I could definitely do it too.
For sure.
Well, why do you think people have that mentality then? What do you think's missing from, let's say, what made you different than the average person that maybe gets stuck in that life?
I think it's like motivation. To be honest, like with my life, this is how I feel like every person should think. So it's like a selfish way, but I think every person should feel this way. Okay. That this is your life, you're in control, and everyone else is living in it. This is your movie, your script. You're the author of it. You're in full control. I'm a guest in your movie. You guys are a character in my movie. So it's all about me, 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 me. And I think that that's what kind of just motivated me to like push further, that I wasn't gonna be like another character in someone else's movie. So that's what it was, bro.
Even just people pleasing, I think that's what
dude,
it is.
if you're broke, bro, if you see your parents struggle, there is like, I always tell people that what more motivation do you need than you being broke, your parents are broke, if you have kids, or you know yourself deep down in your heart that you're not the ultimate version of yourself. Yeah. That's enough to get your ass up and get to work.
I always say that, bro. I'm like, everyone knows, like everyone knows inside, like, are you actually going at 100? Are you actually trying? Like, you always know deep down, like, yo, I could be working harder. Yo, I could be in better shape. Yo, I could be pushing this business further, right? It's just a matter of like self-awareness. Like, and like, do you want to lie to yourself every day, or you want to be honest with yourself, right?
It's also like a fire that you have. Like, you kind of like, it's not a blessing, obviously, to be born broke, of course. But to receive that kind of fire and that kind of motivation from being broke, that's something that could propel you very far. I'm sure you've met so many successful How many of them were broke?
90% of the entrepreneurs that I know were actually the opposite.
Oh, really?
They came from
I feel like that's harder to do.
Bro, people don't know what broke is. Bro, broke is like,
I see what you're saying, but okay, let me take away broke for a second. Maybe not just broke, but losing a parent early in your life, losing a sister.
Traumatizing.
A big traumatizing moment, right? So when you say 90% of people actually came from, I think that's even harder to do when you come from a lot of money, to keep making a lot of money. Because you can get comfortable.
But then again, it depends on like, what's your definition of broke? Because it could like, you could be like, dude, I got evicted 20 times. We were moving around. I was in the hood. That's broke for you. Someone might be like, yeah, all we had was a house and one car, and that's broke for them. True. You know, in comparison to what they know.
Or they're saying they're broke, but they're 14 years
old.
They
were fine. They were fine. Yeah.
You're like, 14, bro. No one has money. Yeah.
So I want to ask.
We gotta go to Sick Teas though.
Well, yeah, that's where I want to go. I want to go to Sick Teas. Okay, so
the best domain ever.
Wow, dude, like that's probably like to cop that today would be crazy. So Sick Teas. Explain, talk to me about it. Obviously, your dad builds you the screen press machine. You and your buddy going at it. Yeah. How, like, what are you doing? Selling at school? Like, what's the whole? Walk us through.
There are those like soccer teams, bro, that loved my shit. I would make them for $3-4, and I would sell them for $15. I started building a street team in different areas, and in those areas, I would give them $5 for every $10. For every $15 t-shirt they would sell. So I'd profit like $7. Okay. And little by little, I started going from making $100 a month to eventually $400 a month. And I ended up buying my own car. I moved out when I was 18. Okay. And yeah, bro, like pretty much I stopped accepting money from my parents when I was 15 years old.
Okay. And this is all off Sick Teas?
Yeah, bro. It's terrible shout name, out Sick Teas, designs,
bro. Let's go.
So how long does Sick Teas go for? And like, what's the next, like, what's your headspace at? Now you're thinking, okay, fuck, I can actually do this. I can actually make money doing this. I guess that's the thought that's happening.
I had the craziest dream ever that I could build a clothing empire. That was going to be selling all over the world. Okay. And when I turned 18, I moved out. And I moved with my cousin in like Buena Park, California, another hood. And I slept on his floor for like 2 years. I got picked up by Angels Baseball. Okay. As the wardrobe designer. So basically, like every time something was being released, I would make sure that It's like all the patches, everything are sewn, come up with like new ideas for collections and stuff like that.
How did you get that?
The buzz. I had like a buzz of design. So not only was I like designing my own shit, I was designing mixtape covers for like rappers, up and coming. So it was all over like California. People knew who I was as a designer, graphic designer.
Cool.
And I just got a call one day from Angels Baseball, and I accepted the job. And this was the first job I've ever had and the only job I've ever had. So that was a crazy story too. But anyways, I did that for like a year or two until I officially quit.
Okay.
Yeah, Angels
You called
Baseball.
it. Why'd you quit?
It was, I jumped ship. So man, this is crazy. So I was making probably like at the time like $1,500 a month working full time.
Which you didn't see that money before. Like that was the first time.
That's the first time I ever made money. So I actually had money to do this the right way. So I stopped doing sick teas when I was 18. And I realized that I can do a better brand and do this official. Okay. Like what I did in the past was so ghetto because I could only do 2 colors max because of the fucking bricks. You can't hold the placement. So it was a 2 color they couldn't touch. The colors couldn't mix or touch. So I realized I need to redo this, rebrand, and build something bigger and official now that I have money. So I was making $1,500 before taxes, and basically my side brand, which was Feather, got to $800 a month. I was selling to like different people, warehouse sales. I had like a couple boutiques making like a few $100s a month. And I made enough money to basically jump ship. And I ended up quitting Angels Baseball and going full time with the second brand, which was Feather.
Okay.
And that one was like, that kind of led me to the path that I am on today.
Okay.
And even like, I guess comparing, because you're kind of going from working for someone to working for yourself again.
Yep.
Right? What was the difference for you there? Were you comfortable working for someone, or was that always a thing that kind of nagged you where it's like, I want to work for myself?
Bro, I was like taking like hour like piss breaks, just working on my phone. Like they would catch me in the locker room, like texting or calling people, like vendors and stuff like that. I was working on my business while I was working and doing everything I can to just make sure that my business was running while I was at work. Okay. I was putting in like 16-hour days, man. I was like barely sleeping, doing everything I can. And it got dark. It got dark real quick because while this is happening, there's a huge situation with like my family. Like my mom basically went to jail for like multiple times for committing like fraud, and she did a lot of things that weren't the right thing to do in order to put money on the table or food on the table. And she got caught up, went to jail, and my sisters were under the age of 18 and they got sent to foster care. Wow. So I got a call when I'm like 19, maybe 20, that if I wanted to take care of them or not. And I jumped ship. I just quit Angels Baseball. God. Now I'm making $800 a month. I don't even know if I'm going to be secure or not. And I got that call. It was like the most devastating thing ever. I ended up actually posting bail for my mom. She got out for like 2 months and then had to go back in and do like 6 months, maybe 8 months. And my sisters were in foster care that entire time. So it was like the hardest thing ever to like go back to Riverside, because I was in Orange County, and like see my sisters being taken care of by someone else is like heartbreaking.
That's insane. So now that's for sure just like another fire.
Fire. If I didn't have fire, man, there was nothing that could stop me then.
Wow. How are you kind of, because I know a lot of people, they get that opportunity where they have a fire, but sometimes they can go uphill or they can go downhill, right? With that same situation, because someone can get the same news as you and be like, fuck life. Fuck all this. Like, I'm not trying to do this, whatever. I'm going to start drinking. I'm going to start smoking. So what do you think, what do you attest to you taking the right path in these situations when it feels like the world's falling on you? I
mean, I definitely went through issues. I made all the like mistakes in life, but I think that I kind of just got back up pretty quick. There was only one time where I actually thought about quitting.
You stayed down for a bit?
No, I was just quitting. There was like one moment, and I was like waiting for the shower to get hot because I'm like in a cheap apartment, so you gotta wait like 10 minutes. You gotta wait 10 minutes, and I'm there, and I'm like thinking, am I really going to make it? Like I started like coming to a realization here. I'm starting a clothing brand. I have a clothing brand. Am I really going to make it? All my homies are going to school. I dropped out of like college. Like, I don't even know if this is going to be a real thing or not. It was like 30 seconds and I just like, yeah, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do everything I can to make it.
Sometimes you just need a hot shower.
Man, I don't know what it was, but I think I just didn't have a fucking choice. I had no plan B, no C. It was literally do or die. And I was going to do everything I can
just back
to make it. Bro, it was do or die.
Did you feel like your family was relying on you at that point?
Fuck like to save them all? The pressure. And I still have the pressure, man. Like I take care of multiple, not just my dad, my mom, it's like my sisters and cousins, like it's like a Godfather type of shit, bro, where I'm just like
feeding the family,
feeding the whole entire family with my businesses.
So okay, well, I mean, holy fuck, that's an insane turn. Like, wow, that's insane, bro. I'm curious. So at this point, you have this brand. It's called Feather.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about this brand. What is it? Is it just tees? Because sick tees is just tees.
So we
Feather.
Started,
what are you doing?
We started actually making like dope products. Now I could afford to go 3, 4, 5, 6 colors, coming out with like cut and sew. Now all my ideas are coming to life, and rappers are starting to wear my shit, like Bone Thugs and Harmony, like all these different rappers, Nipsey Hussle. A lot of people are hitting me up not only for like my design, for like mixtape covers and shit like that, but actually like wearing my own products. So it was like a double thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know, like the one thing that I regret with Feather was making it so diverse. I had rappers, skaters, basically the way I grew up. I had all the homies, everyone wear it, and all the people that were buying. We were doing like maybe 80,000 a year because we had boutiques, and I was still selling stuff, doing like massive warehouse sales where we would make like 10, 20K here and there. And at the end of the day, the number one mistake that I made was I couldn't identify who my customer was. And that was the problem with streetwear. Streetwear was built off culture, which was like hip hop, rock, skaters, snowboarders, surfers, and it was a mix. But the problem with streetwear is you can't identify your customer when it comes to marketing. So I learned how to brand. I learned how to be creative. I learned how to create content, but I didn't know anything about marketing.
Okay.
And Feather was all the hard work of my entire like life so far, and then after that just came marketing.
Okay, you learned that right after.
Yeah.
So because I see you talk about this a lot, about identifying and niching down to, serve a certain market, and I know that's what you ended up doing. We'll get into those businesses. So how long does Feather last until the next move? And is there anything in between life things that happen before you make the next jump, or the next business comes along?
Major, bro. Like back again with like my parents going through struggles, mom going back to jail. I ended up taking care of my sisters at that point. Like I took custody of them. So lots happening, all the weight's on my shoulder. And in 2015, 2014, I ended up making it official that I was going to give up on Feather, and I need to do something else that I know I can identify who my customer is, because I understood that Facebook was a big play at the time, and I just learned how to like run ads, play with it. But I was like, who is my customer? What are they? Are they even like male or female? Everyone's wearing my shit. Yeah. Like I need to know who my customer was, and that was like the biggest difference that I made. Was creating Tuned in Tokyo after that, which was like one of my 8-figure companies.
So you actually learned to identify your customer because you were playing with Facebook ads, where they were like forcing you to be like, okay, what's the age group? What's the demographic? What area? Like, what are their interests? That's crazy. Shout out Facebook. Yo, straight up.
Yep. So like I started Tuned in Tokyo, which is bridging the gap between car enthusiasts and streetwear. And I found a hole in the market where there was no brand for car enthusiasts. For people that love Fast and the Furious, the JDM world, there was no brand for them. So we were one of the first companies to actually do it. There was merch. I love Honda. I love my Beamer, that type of stuff. But there wasn't an actual lifestyle brand. And so 2015 is where I created Tuned in Tokyo.
Okay.
And man, everything changed after that.
And that was just weird. Did you bring in a partner?
Yeah. Okay. So I have a business partner the entire time.
From the beginning?
Yeah, from the very beginning.
And that was a first for you?
Yeah.
To have a partner?
Yeah.
So how did that work for you?
We're still business partners still today.
And how did you pick him? How did it happen?
He was a complete opposite of me. So I'm creative. I'm good with sales, content. He's more of like operational, hands-on stuff, building, leadership, that type of stuff. And complete opposite of me. Finances, numbers. Yeah, so I'm not good at none of that. Yeah. And he was good at that.
Yeah.
So we're running this entire time with Feather and then moving to Tuned in Tokyo. Okay. And Tuned in Tokyo is like a perfect meshed, perfect time. You guys ever see that like meme or that analogy of like somebody digging, and then they eventually struck gold?
Yeah.
That's literally what happened. We're at that breaking point. Like, is this really gonna fucking happen?
Yeah.
We can't keep eating cup noodles, dollar like cheeseburgers, and eating like crap, and just not sleeping for $800 a month and being in debt. And like, that's another thing too, guys. I was like $9,000 in debt this entire time. I couldn't open up a bank account because my credit was shot. I remember like applying for different credit cards, getting denied. I remember trying to buy a car while all my friends had a brand new car. I couldn't get one. So I sacrificed everything for my brand. I put all my eggs in one basket, sacrificed every single dollar. I couldn't have a girlfriend because I was broke.
Yep.
I couldn't go out because I was broke.
Yep.
I just put all my money into my brand, into my business. And like I said, eventually I struck gold.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much the initial investment was for Tuned in Tokyo?
Tuned?
Yeah.
Maybe like it was a good amount because we did save up. It was like $15K maybe, and it's because we bought the Instagram page.
True.
Okay.
Yeah. We ended up buying an Instagram page that had like 250,000 followers, a car page, and Kylie Jenner at the time had probably like 1.2 million followers. True. So this was back in the day
big.
when IG was like barely getting started.
Yeah.
And I just became a nerd with marketing, bro.
You fell in love with it.
Yeah.
What were like? I know you were doing a lot of the ads, but was there anything else you were doing at the beginning, or even I guess as you continued to grow the company in terms of marketing?
Yeah. We were doing like heavily like meme page marketing, which is like bro. I guarantee you, like if whoever is watching this, if you guys made it this far, I hate the childhood stuff. I wanted to get to this point because I guarantee you the rest is going to be 100% value driven.
Of course.
Like every single podcast I've done, they always say like when we're done, yo, bro, like you fucking, that was the first time. That's the first time anyone's ever learned anything.
So let's get the sauce going then.
Yeah,
so tell us. So you start the business, right? You have your own role. You have a partner now. He's taking care of all the logistics, administrative stuff, back end. What's your next play? And when do you find out that, hey, this marketing's actually working? Let's double down or switch it up. So
I realized one thing, and that's traffic. When it comes to building a brand, service base, whatever it is, it starts with traffic. How many people are actually viewing your products? How many people are coming to your site? Okay. And then the second question is, well, how much are you spending to get there? So at the time, meme page marketing was like our avenue to success before Facebook ads. Okay. And the reason why is because at that time, every post was in chronological order. Yeah. So when you post, there's tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people watching every single post. And I realized that there's all these car pages, and I started doing shout out for shout out. I have a bigger page. My page is 3 times bigger. I'll shout you out, but you have to post it 3-4 times.
Genius.
And they would post my ad, I would post their page, and it was cross promotion. Yeah. Then I started realizing, we're doing $300, $400 a day online, and every time we do a $500 day, there's more people coming to our site. So I need to be able to scale this. And instead of doing shout out for shout out, because that was our only option because we didn't have money to pay them, I started actually paying them per post. But then I was like, well, I want to work out a better deal. I don't want to just buy one post from you. I want to buy your entire month. So I want to buy 30 posts. We post every single day. And you normally charge $50, but I'm going to pay you $10 per post. And they would probably be like, well, no, we sell these for $50. But I basically brought them down to earth, and I told them, look, kid, you're 15 years old.
There you go.
You're about to make $300-$400 a month from me. Yeah. And if this works out, I'm going to add your other pages. I'm basically paying you to press a fucking button on the internet, bro. Yeah. You're not doing nothing. I'm sending you the post, the caption, the fucking time. Yeah. I'm basically wiping your ass, bro, for $400. Yeah. And they would like, fuck yeah, all right, let's do it.
And that's perfect because that was your target. That's what you needed.
Exactly.
Did you ever think maybe like at that point too, like to vertically integrate and just make your own car pages and then eventually use them? Like,
so
we ended up,
we ended up buying all the pages.
There you go.
Yeah, we bought them all out. Nice. And eventually we had like over 800 pages.
So like how much at that time, how much are you paying for these pages?
Now I don't even know. We're probably spending $3,000 a day to make like 9,000
to put the posts on okay.
Yeah. So we're all over the place. So our first year, I was still dabbling in Facebook ads, but I wasn't like a pro at it. Okay. Meme pages were like what worked. Okay. And it still works today. So it died out for like 3-4 years, but it came back with Instagram Reels.
Yeah,
so now, guys, if you're watching this, if you have a brand, pay these meme pages, especially with videos and Reels.
True.
That's like the number one. It's working right now for my companies.
Mm-hmm. That's like the best thing you would say.
No, it's like it works hand in hand with with Facebook ads. So eventually in 2016, that's when I started rolling out Facebook ads, and that's when shit got real. Because at the end of the day, like, there's only so much you can do to scale the meme pages. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what pages are doing the best. But when you're running ads and you're getting paid traffic, you actually know how much you're spending to acquire customers.
Yes.
So that goes back to like the visitor count. Well, now I can actually figure out how much money I'm paying per lead and how much money I'm paying to acquire a customer.
Yes.
And I can also target people. I can target the area. I can target how old they are. I can target their interests and stuff like that. So you can if you can identify who your customer is, it's literally game over.
Yeah.
It's game at that point. It's how many of those people can you get to your site in front of your products, and eventually they're gonna pull the trigger.
And then for you, I guess it worked because your audience was a niche.
Yeah.
Where it's not like there's thousands of companies targeting the same audience as you.
And I have a formula for it. So like every single brand that I've built has I went through a 5C formula.
Okay.
It starts with 5 of them. So the first one is community. Most drop shippers will talk about finding the winning product, which I do the exact opposite. And honestly, most drop shippers don't know what the fuck they're doing. They made their first million in sales, not even like million in profit, and act like they're fucking a legend and gurus and like.
That's when the course comes out. Every third thing starts coming.
To me, it's hilarious, bro. Like,
they're gonna keep trying. You know them. Come
on. But with your 10%
so you do the
margins.
opposite.
Yeah. So I do the complete opposite.
Okay.
I find my customers first. So like I never build a brand that revolves around a product. I build it around the customer. So for instance, like sports, we could go with sports with community, people that love sports and only sports. Then the second C is culture. And this is where you niche down your niche. So you got to get it narrowed. So instead of just sports and being broad about sports, let's go with MMA. People that love MMA.
Okay.
So those are the cult following. Another example is like, let's say the Raiders football, right? If I go to a Raiders game and I start talking shit on the Raiders, I'm probably gonna get my ass beat. I'm probably gonna get jumped. Those are the people that I want to sell to. Those fucking diehards, willing to do anything, willing to fuck you up. Those are the people I want to make products for. The culture. So that's the second. The third one is continuously creating products. So continuously create. If I have a water bottle here, if I start a water bottle company, what could I do to innovate this? There's not a lot. So with clothing, you can continuously create new products. So every brand that I've ever built and I ever am going to build has to be able to continuously create new products all the time. Okay. The fourth one is collaboration. This is key. This was a key to my success with all my brands. Collaboration isn't just like you paying someone, an influencer or celebrity, to promote your product. A collaboration is taking one person's identity or brand, taking another identity and meshing them and creating something new. Kind of like Dragon Ball Z when they like do that fusion. That's what it is. It's basically creating an entirely new identity. Okay. And if you can do that with your products, then you have a winning product. You have a unicorn. And the fifth one is content. Content's the number one way to communicate with your customer. Right now, we're doing content. We're talking. You guys are putting out content for your social media. This is what your customers, your viewers are watching. This is the only way that they're going to ever communicate with you is through you, through what you're putting out there. So there are some brands like water bottle companies where it doesn't look cool. It doesn't look right. Yeah. It looks weird. It looks forced. And that's where content comes into play. So that's the last one.
Yes. So and the 5 C's.
The 5 C's. So if I can check off all those 5s, then I have a winning brand for sure.
It's crazy because you're using clothing as your sort of product when you're picking your niche, then you're niching down to culture and doing all these things. It's just funny, and it's very opposite of what you generally hear. Like you always hear like the clothing business is a tough business. Like stay out of it. Like is that just people being like, yo, we don't want more competition, you think? Or is it like actually?
No, it's the hardest, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the way you're talking about it is like you sort of like, I mean, you've mastered it. Obviously you've done it for so many years, and you know, those 5 C's, you built that formula, right? I guess that's just dollars on top of dollars spent I don't want to say wasted, but used to learn?
Bro, I spend so much money on mistakes. The other thing too that I doubled down on with that is my average order value. So like some people, when they first start their clothing brand, this is the first mistake they make. Most people, bro, 9 out of 10 people, they do this. I'm starting a clothing brand. Let me just make a collection of my logo and my name. The only people that know who the fuck you are your friends and family. They don't give a fuck about your name. They don't give a fuck about you at all. Your logos don't mean jack shit, bro. True. So you know what's going to happen? You're going to flop.
Yeah.
So that's like the worst mistake you can make is start with your name. People buy designs. So most of my brands are selling designs, not logos. Eventually, when we get big enough, strong enough, have a big enough community, we're a staple in that community, you can drop logo shirts and they'll support. But at the very beginning, no one knows who the fuck you are.
It's so
you got to make a name for yourself.
And we see so many brands do that too.
Damn, that's like
all the time.
It's like I just launched Hoodie Mania, and the hoodie just says Hoodie Mania on it. It's like, bro, no one knows that yet.
It's funny because that seems like the most fucking like common sense, like logical thing.
But it's not. But it's really not.
But I'm like, damn, that's true. People drop a brand, and then there's just a hoodie that has their
well,
their
but like you said, you're thinking from the other way, right? You're thinking about your audience first rather than the product. Then, okay, who's the audience for this product?
And then they take like 6 months to create the perfect fucking t-shirt, but no one, like, I can't feel that t-shirt over a fucking ad or a post on Instagram.
True.
You can't feel the quality. You can only talk about it.
Yeah.
So like if you're not an influencer or celebrity, then no one's going to buy your shit.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So even to the, let's say to the perspective of like, you know, when you want to mass produce, you want to start a clothing brand, like you got to make, I don't know, minimums. You have to buy 100 of each SKU, let's say. What's your plan of approach if I'm brand new, I want to start a clothing brand? How do I know how many tees to start with or products to start with? Like what do you suggest?
So you got to drop at least 15 to 20 different product SKUs for your first drop, and you do print on demand at first.
Okay.
And the reason why you do print on demand is because you don't want to invest into shit that's not going to work. If you drop, let's say 12 items, a collection of 12 items, 1 or 2 are going to be a hit. The rest are going to flop. It's like when you go through a mixtape or whatever, a new album, 2 out of every, or 3 out of like every fucking 10 songs are going to be a hit.
True.
One's going to be a single. So it's the 80-20 rule. Most of my revenue right now, it's the 80-20 rule. 80% is coming from the top 20% bestsellers on my site.
True.
And that's how it is. But if you continue to create new products, you're eventually going to have a whole catalog of bestsellers.
And you're testing the products as you're launching them. You're saying, okay, this one didn't work, this one worked.
Yeah.
Even with the print on demand though, my question is, don't you think that you're sacrificing a bit on the quality side as your first launch?
No, because at the very beginning, round 1 of customers might get a little fucked at the beginning with quality, but round 2, when you figure out what the best sellers are, you can actually invest into inventory.
True.
You don't want to fucking gamble, bro. When you're releasing and if you're putting money into minimums, you're literally gambling. You don't know if it's going to work or not.
Yes.
So another thing too is like most people, when they advertise a new brand, they're launching advertisements with like t-shirts and hoodies that are $30 to $60.
Yeah.
Bro, it's going to cost you $20 to $25 to acquire a customer. So you're going to go negative. If you're selling a $40 t-shirt, it's going to cost you $15 to $20 to acquire a customer. So the other thing that I do when I build brands is I make sure from the very, very start that I have $100 plus price point somehow per order. So my average order value is always over $100 because I know that it's going to cost me $30 to $40 at scale to acquire a customer.
And they're buying more than one thing at a time, you're saying.
Yeah, so how are you building that order size
past
100? Like, is it one product, like you're pricing high, or what's your game plan?
So my brand, Tuned in Tokyo, we started in 2015. We're 2023 now. We're heading into the 9th year, which is rare for clothing brands.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's sick.
To make it this far. And the reason why we've made it this far is because we bundle products into a mystery box. A mystery box is 67% of our sales, and it's $100 to $150 mystery box. And we spend about $20 to $35 to acquire a customer.
Wow.
And that's at scale. So now when I start a brand, I'm I'm not in this for $10,000. I'm not in this for $100,000. If I start a brand, I'm in it to do 10 million plus a year. And I'm thinking 2-3 years ahead. At the very beginning, you launch your first set of ads, you do your first influencer marketing, whatever campaigns, you're going to get like $7 to $10 cost per acquisitions, which is you spending money to acquire a customer. Yeah. But at scale, when you're spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a day plus on Facebook ads, eventually you're going to go through this audience size of like 1 million, and eventually you're going to burn through it. And as you continue to burn through it, you're not finding those hot customers no more. So your cost per acquisition is going to go from $7 to $15 to $25 to $40, and you have to be okay with that. True. So I'm thinking so far ahead, even though I just started a brand.
So even with with the mystery box, for example, it's just a few products that you guys have bundled it together. That's not a subscription box or anything.
Nah.
So is that something you would recommend to other brands to do? Something like a package deal?
Fuck yeah. Obogo. So basically the way it works, it's like, let's say you have $100 ticket price, $100 product price. Yeah. Well, your cost of goods should always be 30%.
Okay,
so
30%.
$30 would be the cost of goods to do that $100.
Max, that should be your max.
It should be 30%.
Okay.
Then it doesn't matter what kind of service based business or whatever it is that you're in. Your money, that the most money you should be spending is always on marketing. So marketing should be about 20 to 25% of your sales. So if you do $1 million in sales, you're spending 200 to 250,000 on marketing. So in this case, if we made $100, $25 is marketing. $30 is cost of goods, $55. So our profit is $45 from the cost of goods. So if you're okay with that, cool. And if it goes from $25 to $40 to acquire a customer.
You're saying the marketing part.
Yeah, the marketing part. Well, then you have $40 plus your $30 cost of goods at 70, and you're left over with 30. And 30 from 100 seems like, oh shit, I just like, that's not a lot, bro. It's just $30. But when you're doing $100 or 100 orders per day and you're making $30 per order, you're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars, if not 6 figures in profit every single month. And eventually it adds up.
So when you're saying you do BOGO, so essentially like you have a tea at $100, let's say. You're saying you buy this tea at $100, get one free?
I wouldn't really sell $100 t-shirts,
okay, but
crazy? you want to like, do a bundle, like 3 t-shirts, 1 hoodie for $120. Okay. To start. At the very beginning.
Like
at the very beginning, bro, you're not Balenciaga. You're not Supreme. You're not a Miri. Yeah. Miri's price points have like doubled and tripled over time. You start low, then you make your way through the top.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I have 2 questions. In terms of the marketing, once you see that you have to spend more to acquire, is that an alarm that goes off in your head and says, okay, are we okay with this? Or do we need to change and add a product? Do we need to change our marketing? Is that when you start making changes?
No,
or do
you need to do that at the beginning. Okay. Right now, if you're watching this, just know one day if you're doing over 5 million a year, one day it's going to cost you $40 to $50 to acquire customers. It doesn't matter what brand you are.
Doesn't matter what you're doing.
It's going to cost you that much. So you have to be okay with that, or you're going to have to do 2 million a year and be okay with that. But if you're trying to do past 10 million, you're at the $50, $60 mark to acquire a customer. So another thing too, that's surface level marketing. Yes. So on top of surface level marketing, there's retargeting and multiple touch points. What this means is like my average or my lifetime value of my customers, 750 for Tuned in Tokyo, meaning they came back 4 to 6 different times to buy more and more and more products. This is why one of my C's is continuously creating, meaning I'm always dropping something new every single 2-3 weeks, so they come back. So maybe you go fucking negative on the first drop.
Yes.
But then you're gonna do another drop. Once you have them on email and SMS and you're retargeting them on Facebook ads, you're doing the follow-up, the multiple touch points, eventually they're gonna buy again and again and again and again because you're building this brand around them. It's not for you. Yeah. I've never worn, bro. This was the first year, actually last year. Last year was the first year where I've ever worn my own stuff. I've never worn, maybe the gym, maybe to sleep.
Why not?
Never.
Yeah, why?
Never. Because I never created it for myself. I don't even like the designs. Jeez. I love what we do. I love the brand, but I don't like the designs. It's not for me. So when I'm making products for my customers, they're automatically more interested in buying it than me forcing them to.
Okay.
So you're really for the customer to that extreme.
100%, bro. If you're making it for them.
How long do you like look at a product and test a product before you're like, you know what, this one's not it? How long does that take you to realize?
It's like 7-day rollout.
Is that what it is? 7
days?
days?
Yeah, you can clearly identify winners like within 7 days, 1 week. The main thing though,
even if you're like a small brand at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 days. You know right away.
Okay.
You know right away your piece of content too that works. There's always content that works. You guys know, like, it's hard to just predict. Some of your best podcasts that you guys have,
You couldn't even predict.
if it's not like, let's put the Nelk Boy,
Of
all
course.
the Nelk Boy
Yeah.
and Nelk Boy affiliation.
Yeah.
If like you couldn't predict which ones were going to be
course,
a hit, bro.
Of course.
You never know.
Yeah.
And that's literally what it is with like with your clothing. You don't know until you actually put it out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But going back, the lifetime value part is really important. You want to be able to do multi-channel. So don't just advertise on Facebook. Advertise on Google. Advertise through email and SMS. Continuously like following up on them, hitting them in multiple touch points, multiple times is what's going to be making you the more money in the long run.
So let me ask you, like, to gain people for email and SMS lists, what's your go-to? Like, how do you try to grab those?
Well, it's cool because every time someone reaches a checkout, they're automatically getting plugged in. Or you have like a pop-up at the very beginning, which you guys will see on most brands.
10% off.
But 10% ain't shit. You got to give them $20 or $10 off. Okay. You got to give them something to actually go down that pipeline.
Real value.
Real fucking value.
Everyone's asking
10% ain't shit.
Yeah.
You need to actually up. You need to up it for sure.
Yeah.
But what happens, bro, is that if your follow-up game is really good, then eventually you're going to make more money on the back end and reoccurring revenue. You start getting a 30 to 40% return customer rate. Wow. And that's what I have with Tune. It's a 37% return customer rate. So if we stopped everything, we would still do like about a third, like 30 or 40% of our sales without doing shit.
With the audience you currently have.
Yeah, our existing customer list. So most companies, like tech companies, they go negative for the first 3 to 4 years. Because they're willing to like invest into their customer list because they know year 5 or 7 they're going to be profitable. Like Uber was negative for a very, very long time until it became profitable.
It was fucking $2 to ride in an Uber for the first 3 years, 4 years, and then year 5 all of a sudden went from $2 to $20 for the same ride.
So it's the same model, except I play both games. Like I want to get them for the long run, but I also want to make money on the surface level right at the beginning.
True. And how do you kind of manage that collaboration between text message, email marketing? How are you managing all these touch points where it's not oversaturated too for the audience? Because I'm guessing like you're not going to send them a text every couple of days.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
or maybe you are every day, bro.
No,
you are, right?
So your emails should be like 3 times a week minimum and 1 text message per week. But it's not always sell. It's engage. Okay. Tune in Tokyo is the media hub of entertainment for car enthusiasts. We're talking about this new car that just got released, this new thing that's happening, this new movie. Right now, Gran Turismo is a big thing. We're talking about Gran Turismo. And through those pipelines, they're also opening up. The open rate is going up and they're actually clicking through and eventually coming back to our site and buying something. They're always checking once every single month to see what's new.
What's happening.
And that's another thing too with your guys' website. You should always update it, at least the banners, maybe a little bit of color to make it feel brand new when there's a new collection too.
Every time they come, it's something different.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else attached? Do you have like a blog attached to the website, anything like that?
Blogs were big back then, but I feel like
done now,
it's
right?
done. I mean, people, SMS is so much bigger, like text messaging, and you don't want to like fucking spam them too much.
And how involved are you in all of this whole marketing ecosystem that you're running for Tune in Tokyo?
So right now, I am not as involved as I was once, but I wore every single hat within my business. I was the shipper, I was the graphic designer, I was the marketer, I was doing everything I can to learn everything within the business. I even was vlogging. If you guys like fucking YouTube Tune in Tokyo vlogs, you'll see like over 100 videos of me. We were doing everything possible to build this brand up. And eventually, bro, we got so big that we can throw an in-person event and have 5,000 to 7,000 people pay to attend, bro. to a 10, and we would do 100K that day on merch.
So that's just another revenue stream to the event itself.
We started doing 3 events a year, massive ones.
So in terms of that, now what does the team look like? Break down what that whole team at Tune in Tokyo looks like right now.
Yeah, I mean, right now is a lot different. So like that kind of leads to like my other brand, which became the biggest brand that I've ever built, which was Drip Creationz.
Drip Creationz.
Drip. Okay. And the story with that is we're dominating with Tune in Tokyo. We know the game. This is like fast forwarding to 2018. I have a conversation with my business partner. We're like, yo, we've done the t-shirts, we've done the hoodies, we've done it all, but we've never done shoes before. We need to get into shoes, and shoes sell for more than $100. So I was like, we're good. We're good here. There's not a lot of competition too. Yeah. And I come home one day. My sister's living with me at the time. I have a casita outside my house, and I come home one day, and there's shoe boxes everywhere, Vans everywhere, bro. Literally everywhere to the ceiling, dude. Okay. And I'm like, yo, what the hell are you doing? Because she told me she was selling stuff on Etsy, but I thought it was clothing, like reselling clothing, drop shipping, stuff like that. And she was customizing sneakers. And I've done so much for my family that they're kind of like, they feel ashamed to ask me for help to do anything. Okay. So she didn't ask me for help. And then I saw that she did like 150,000 that year on Etsy.
Oh, shit.
And light bulb went off on my head. I want to start a shoe company. She's customizing shoes. I literally told her that day, welcome to the majors, because we're building a brand. And came up with Drip. 2019, what was it, March, we launched Drip, and we did 4.5 million our first year. And we went from 0 followers to 700,000 followers within 1 year.
What, on IG?
Yeah.
So what the fuck is Drip? Walk us through the company.
So we're the largest, by the way, Tune in Tokyo is the largest clothing brand for car enthusiasts, and Drip has been the largest shoe customization company in the world.
You're saying both in the world? In the world.
There is not a bigger company than both of my businesses. So 2019 was like glory, because like, when I started it with the $5,000 credit card.
That's a Drip.
Yeah. So
and you had money. It was
made to order, but it was made to order. So like I had the team already, the infrastructure, the foundation set up, I had the experience, but I spent $5,000 on just like samples and stuff like that. Then I spent like $100 on ads, would make $1,000 a day. Eventually the business just started paying for itself. And we started investing more into inventory, like Vans. And then eventually we came out with Nikes towards the end of the year.
You doing like Air Force Ones? Custom Air Force Ones?
But at first we were just customizing.
So how did that work? Like Vans. It was like you guys only had certain like designs, and then you could pick from the designs?
Here's the dope part. Collaboration was the key to our success. True. So an influencer, eventually I started running ads a little bit, like $100, $200 a day. An influencer hit us up. I forget her name. I need to find out, but it was like Daz, I don't know. On YouTube, she had like 200,000 subscribers. She got our shoes, bought them, or I don't know if we gave them to her. I don't know. She posted, she got like 50,000 views on that video, and we had a $20,000 day, random. Oof. And it rolled out like 5K. So we went from $1,000 to like 20K, and a light bulb went off again. I was like, yo, we need to get this shit on every influencer possible. Yeah. Then eventually we just were the mecca for like we were the influencer. We were on our way to becoming like another Fashion Nova. Yeah. And yeah, bro, like it was game over from there.
You said you were on your way. You're still on your way, or no?
No, so this is what happened. So we grew really, really big and really fast. We had like a 7,000 square foot warehouse at this point. Okay. So in 2020, we went all in and we got a 32,000 square foot warehouse. Oof. And we went from 12 employees to 60 or 70.
This is just for Drip?
Yeah, Tune and Drip.
Okay. Together. So you have both of them. Yeah,
both of them under one roof.
Oh, so then was your partner from Tuned In also?
Yeah,
cool.
So we're both, we Sick. Both, and my younger sister, she was our third partner. Amazing. She's a creative director. Sick. And so we go from like, doing 4.5 million, and it's real. So we find a warehouse, 32,000 square feet, and we're planning on going like really, really hard. And 2020 was our best year ever in sales. Like we really crushed it. Damn. We've done 50 million in the last 3 years, more than 50 million in sales in the last 3 years.
Both brands.
Yeah. Oh yeah, easily. Damn. Yeah. In the last 3 years.
Okay.
So we've crushed it, bro. And in 2020, we're on a huge run. Logan Paul's wearing it. If you're an influencer with over 100,000, you wore Drip for sure. And it was beauty. This is a part of that continuously creating, making it collaboration. We were able to customize shoes one of one for anyone. If you guys want Money Buys Happiness custom shoe, I was able to make it there and then. It'd be out in 1 week. And once I get your actual like address, I'm going to continue to send you more products, even though you don't even ask for it.
That's even better though.
I'm starting to see it on, I'm starting to see Trevor Wallace, Theo Vaughn, like everyone wear it, bro. It's all over the place. And we're doing like $40,000, $50,000 days with just Drip alone. So we're crushing it. We're scaling, growing the biggest brand ever. And then, so 2020 was like a huge year. And like I made more money than I ever have in my entire life. Yeah. But it was also the most stressful year of my life too. Literally the most stressful. I've never had a more stressful year than 2020.
In what sense?
Yeah.
The stress of the weight on my shoulders. You're going from 12 employees to having 60 employees and you're working all day. I didn't even have time to put gas in my car. I had to hire someone to put gas in my car. There was an app. And this is COVID happened too. True. Like there was it was miracles that had to happen in order for us to run a business in fucking California, the most strict state in America. We went from 60 employees to losing them like overnight because of COVID. Yeah. So
what happened? Okay. So walk us through when COVID happens.
Skeleton crews. So we had skeleton crews come through, which is basically like people that we had to pay them more in order to be there, work at the warehouse. We went to Mexico and then China for our own shoes. Okay.
So you didn't let it really like fuck with you guys. You guys kept going.
Dude, we were selling more than what we can fulfill. Wow. I had a point. We had conversations, guys, where I'll tell you off camera, but man, we had conversations where we can literally do $100,000 a day in sales if we really wanted to. And my business partner would call pissed. Yeah. Bro, you can't fucking sell more than 50,000. I told you. We would have arguments on like us not being able to fulfill orders. Okay. Because we're making so much money. Okay, I shut down ads. I shut down spend.
And it was still coming in.
I couldn't stop.
So you think at that point it was all the influencer marketing just catching up at that point?
Our influencers were fucking filled with our DMs were filled with influencers. Yeah, blue checks everywhere. Yeah, ridiculous. We couldn't make enough shoes for influencers.
So you're talking very like past tense.
Yeah, so in 20,
I'm like, what happened?
So
here?
we rolled out 2020.
I'm fucking amped.
And in 2021, bro, we're still crushing it. At the very beginning, we're like on top, and things are starting to get real. We're about to release. Actually, we released our shoe in 2020. We created our own drip shoe because I couldn't get enough Nikes, and I had major problems with Nike where per account we made like several different accounts, a lot of different accounts, and I had like a $10,000 a day limit with them, so I couldn't buy enough Nikes.
Holy fuck!
And so we decided to our whole original plan was to become our own shoe company, not buy other Vans and all these other, Pumas and run that. We wanted to actually create our own shoe. That was our number one goal from the very beginning. And so in 2020, we released our own drip shoe. Okay. And it went very well. People loved it. The response was there. And it was, that's like the opening of 2021 and what led to like the kind of fall. And anyway, so in 2021, I'm talking to Disney, I'm talking to Marvel, I'm talking to a lot of like licensing potential people, collaborations, Playboy, and I put it all together, and I need to raise like about $2 million. So I make a post on Instagram, and I basically say, hey guys, like I'm looking for an investment for $2 million. For Drip, and everyone knows who Drip is. So I get hundreds of DMs. One person that literally was an ex-CMO of Tom's Shoes, I don't know if you guys know Tom's Shoes, reached out. I have the money, but you guys need more than that. You guys need a partner. We're doing over 8 figures a year, multi-8 figures a year at this point. So I'm at that point where I don't know what to fucking do because I've never ran a business this big before in my entire life. All of us are inexperienced. We didn't go to school for this. We didn't have mentors.
Like, I'm from the hood, bro.
I'm from the hood.
From the
no
shack,
investors, no investors, nothing, bro. Nothing. Yeah. So that this person reaches out and we take the call. They do crazy due diligence, like go through our bank accounts, all the spend, everything. And they basically say, look, we're willing to give you the money. We're going to do this officially, but we're going to buy you guys out. We're going to buy your company.
Completely.
Wow. We want you guys out. And I'm like, like, I don't even know if I'm ready for this. Like, am I ready to exit Drip? Like, we're on a huge, huge run. And as soon as the deal's going through, this is April of 2021, I get an email from Bloomberg Business, an entrepreneur magazine, saying, do you care to comment on your recent lawsuit with Nike?
That's how you got the news?
And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Like, what lawsuit? We're not in a lawsuit. And I had to check. I had to Google the email to make sure that it was legit or not. Yeah. Because we thought it was fake. And 24 hours, literally just 24 hours passed. That same day, maybe like around 4, 6 o'clock, I go on Instagram and Hypebeast, Entrepreneur, Forbes, every streetwear like media outlet posted like Nike suing Drip Creationz. Before we were served, I had no information at all. I had to find out through what was posted.
Wow.
And we didn't get served until like a month and a half to 2 months later. And it was like a shitty serve too. Like we had to like contest that we got served pretty much. Like we had to agree.
So you didn't even know what was going on for 1 or 2 months?
No, man. We just knew what everyone else knew, which was they knew more than us. So I have a feeling that Nike like owns or pays so much money into those like media outlets,
of course,
that they fucking can control. And it's smart because they put out the narrative first.
There you go.
Before I even have a chance to start the battle, bro.
It's true.
They're so fucking good at what they do.
Fuck. Okay.
So checkmate on that.
Yeah. So that happens, and I guess that's your first lawsuit.
Big lawsuit. My first lawsuit, and talk about the final boss. Nike,
literally.
Nike,
bro. The biggest company, dude.
Nike is like, to me, Nike was the biggest brand in the world and my most the most inspirational brand for me. When you talk about brand, you talk about Nike. It's hard to not say Nike.
100%.
It's hard to not say Nike.
Yeah.
They're definitely in that conversation. So for them to sue us was the most scariest fucking thing I've ever been through, bro.
So what did they sue you for? What's the like?
So trademark infringement was basically multiple counts. So they sued us for customizing on their sneakers, and buying shoes like when we weren't supposed to, like the way we did or whatever. We were buying multiple. They didn't know where we were getting all our shoes. So customizing shoes, the way we bought them, and our trademark infringement on our drip shoe. So our drip shoe to them looked like similar. So they called our drip shoe a counterfeit shoe. Wow. Even though they had no Nike branding, it was literally a drip shoe. But to them, they're just throwing out allegations.
Of course.
Yeah.
Was it the classic Air Force One like silhouette?
It was like a silhouette. I mean, I don't even want to admit that we copied them or anything. We had different inspirations. But like from very far, you can like maybe get mixed up from far, but not on our site, not in person. They're completely different shoes. As a matter of fact, Nike Air Force Ones are more for male or universal, but they were made for men. Drip shoes was created for females. They had a higher, like, there was a lot of differences, but very bulky.
So you can't customize the shoe. Is it because you sold it?
So that was our main case with them was, if I buy I have a Lamborghini right now, if I change the fucking colors, Lamborghini gonna come knocking on my door saying, you can't do that.
Or you can't resell it after.
It's called the first sell doctrine. As long as you buy something at full retail, not wholesale, and you don't have an agreement with the company that doesn't allow you to, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Okay.
You can customize.
So because you were buying at wholesale, you're saying?
No, we're not. We weren't buying it at wholesale. We were buying it at retail.
So you guys that's the play that you guys are going with now.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, hold on. I want to actually backtrack. You finally get served.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like, I actually want to know, how do you approach this? Because you're like, okay, we got money, whatever, but this is Nike.
This is the most stressful thing I've ever gone. Like, you're talking about the fucking final boss in a video game, bro.
Facts.
This is the top villain I'm ever going to deal with for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm fairly young, what the hell? Why am I going through this? And it was major stressful. We thought our brand was done then. And the people that actually like ended up We ended up exiting the business, but we were supposed to exit there and then, and it dragged on for like another year to actually exit the brand. Eventually, we did a full exit on the company, but we still had all the liability for what we've done in the past.
Okay.
And it was like a novella, bro, like a freaking triad of shit show drama between us, the people that bought the company, and Nike. It was like a triangle of love.
Triangle of love, for real. So how do you? Okay, so you sell it to them. They're still okay with it. They're like, okay, you guys got a lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, they're not.
Down.
They're like, fuck Nike. We don't give a fuck about them. Their pride and ego is like up the roof, bro. They're like, they can go fuck themselves. You guys, man.
Then you kind of just, I guess, in terms of
I'm learning, like, guys, this is the most scariest thing ever. I'm going through depositions for the first time.
Yeah.
My lawyer at the time, they're prepping me. And this is the scariest fucking thing ever. A conference room with 3 cameras, a translator, or like whatever they're called, transcriptor dude.
Yeah.
15 lawyers, and I have 1 lawyer. You know, it's like, it's crazy, bro. This is the most intimidating thing I've ever been through. And it's one person at a time.
So I'm correct me if I'm wrong, you hired the Yeezy lawyer, like so
eventually, at first, we're gonna there's no way we're gonna survive this. We're fucked. Yeah. There's no way we're gonna survive this. We're done. It's all over. There's no point in fighting Nike. They got all the money in the world, and we're a piece of sand in their ocean. Yeah. And eventually, it got to the point where I got so frustrated because this was dragging on for so long that I was like willing to fight back now. Okay. Like, fuck defense. We're going offense. Okay. I got pissed, bro. Yeah. And then eventually, so it got to the point where I ended up hiring like Yeezy's attorneys. When they're expensive. They're like one of the biggest law firms in New York. Okay. Yeah, bro. They're on Yeezy Council. Kanye works with them. They've fought Nike like 7 or 8 times. Settled with Nike. Yeah, they go golfing and shit. So
was that the plan to try and get a settle agreement?
So right away. Yeah.
What was like, okay, the allegations, you told us allegations, but let's say you pleaded guilty to all of them, what would have happened?
We would have owed them millions. They wanted millions and millions of dollars.
So it was a money thing.
They wanted millions and millions of dollars. And the worst thing about Nike that they did was they ended up naming me personally. So not just my businesses, because at first it's like, well, I don't even own the business no more, so I don't give a fuck.
True. Yeah.
But then they named me personally, every single like owner. And it got serious because if you owe Nike 4 or 5 million each or whatever,
they're coming for you.
Dude, it's a big. That's no one wants to pay. That's a lot of money, bro.
So, are you still going through it? Is it finished now? Like, what's the?
So, when's this gonna be released?
Like probably 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. Well, bro, like, yeah, we're fucking settled, bro.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Fucking 2.5 years, bro. 2.5
years.
2.5 years. April 2021, bro.
Oh my God.
What is it? It's fucking August 23rd.
Yes.
Like, amazing. Guys, I can't say details. I can't fucking I can't even like tell you guys how much money we spent exactly. We spent so much money. 3 days out of my week were on this lawsuit. It was a roller coaster ride. 1 week, on top of the world. I'm fucking thinking we got Nike. Then next week I get some news, and they like every time you get an email or text message from your attorney, your stomach.
Yeah, it's a low blow, yo. They just did this.
Scariest fucking thing ever, man.
Cause I seen you beat cheese, bro. We've been like talking for probably like a year now, just here and there, and like. It's funny, like I keep up with what you're doing, and some weeks you're like on top of the world, and it's like the next week I see you post like
pissed,
yo, fuck Nike, yo, my lawyers, we're going off. It's the biggest battle of my life. I'm like, damn, that is crazy.
Straight up fucking war, man.
Yeah,
and bro, like it was tough because they like. You guys know my story by now. I went from one place to another, my entire life. I've never had a stable childhood, never had a home. Parents don't even have a house, nothing like that. So I bought my first house in 2021.
Congrats.
It was 2021.
Sick,
Thank you. And in California. And when they named me personally, they also brought my house in the mix too. So I thought I was going to not only lose millions of dollars, but lose my home. Bro, that to me, like, you can take away my money, the cars, don't take my fucking house away.
Then it's war.
Yeah. That's where I was on defense. That's what pissed me off. Yeah. That was it actually.
So I mean, you don't have to we could talk numbers or whatever after, whatever the case is. But so essentially it was a settlement. You had to pay a certain amount of money and you guys, then you could just walk away, close it up.
So they basically accepted an offer. Right now we're drawing up the agreements and it's going to be official in like 2 weeks where all the media outlets are going to post it. We'll have to post it and it's officially like settled.
Now you get some good PR out of it.
Yeah, good PR. Actually, I mean, it was always good.
It was always
facts.
Nothing really happened. I always wanted to be featured on Hypebeast.
Yeah.
I got that.
You got that,
bro.
That's amazing.
I got it.
That's amazing.
I got it in a weird way, but we got it.
And now, so you exit Drip, you're fucking clear to this lawsuit. I mean, I want to.
I haven't told no one. This is
it's okay. But this will drop after.
Okay.
I want to say fuck Nike. I love wearing Nike. I'm not gonna lie. I love the brand, so I won't say that. I love you, Nike. But
they put a little taste in my mouth, though.
Yeah, no,
that's a sour taste.
Well, listen, it's big corporations. It's not one person anymore.
But the fact that they came after you means that you were doing something huge, bro.
Yeah, you said, bro, $50,000 a day, $100,000 a day.
Dude, our attorney said that, they're like singling you guys out. We've worked with them, but they're fucking like they're going hard on you guys.
They probably saw the buzz you guys were creating.
They just kept saying they're gonna make an example out of us.
So all that happens. Congratulations for fucking clearing that.
Jesus.
And with that being said, now I see you posting about this new brand, which like you're saying like this is gonna be the company. Like
this is the one.
And you're literally putting your name on it. Literally.
Yeah. So I'm starting the latest brand, and this is going to be called Quiroz, and it's my last name. I've always wanted to do this. I was actually going to do this when I turned like 40, so in like 10 more years or whatever, but decided to do it now, man. Now's the time. Fashion's hot. I feel like I got the right team, the right momentum. I might as well just drop it now. Okay. And so I'm going to release Quiroz, which is my first take on luxury, like high fashion brand before. Yeah, I've always done streetwear, bang for your buck, more affordable t-shirts, stuff like that. This is going to be completely different, full on cut and sew.
And I see now, like, cause I even saw you put on your story, like you're opening it up to investment as well.
Yeah.
So what's the play there? You're just like, bro, give me some cash. I'm gonna take this. No, my money's
been tied up because like, I mean, I can't really say too much. But it's been tied up because I fucking, I'm going through a lawsuit. So like, I can't just go online and say I got millions and millions of dollars because that's what they want. They want my money. So like, it's been tough.
You gotta play a little.
Yeah, like I've been trying to sell Tuned in Tokyo for the last 3. I wanted to sell Tuned in Tokyo for the last 3 years. Okay. Yeah. I couldn't because if I sell and I make millions, now you have more money. Yeah. Now they're gonna double down on the lawsuit and stuff like that.
So we gotta lower your pay a bit here.
We gotta fucking.
This guy's broke, bro. He's broke, bro. Trust me.
We gotta get your pay down.
Do everything we can.
So that really put like
I'll tell you guys off camera.
Of course.
But
so that put like a fucking damper on your whole life.
Fuck
your plans,
bro. Everything. But honestly, I didn't care too much. I just cared about like my home. That was it. And guys, when you look at my past, starting from where I started to what I have now, I have more than enough money to live the rest of my life and not worry about money for the rest of my life. I have way more than enough, bro. Yeah. I'm chilling. I'm good. And not only that, my parents are chilling. Yeah. I've taken so much care of my parents. I've not only given money to my family, but I've also taught them how to make their own money too.
So important.
So like my younger brother, he started a marketing agency. He's making $15,000 a month right now.
Let's go.
And he's 24, 25. And my sister was a business partner with Drip. She made a fuck ton of money. She was a third partner. Out, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, we're split 30%, like all around. So she made a fuck ton of money. Okay. She's chilling. My parents, I've given them so much money. Done everything. I bought my mom multiple cars. Yeah. I've helped them in every way possible.
So what are you still doing it for at this point then?
This is the legacy play. This is a legacy brand for sure. Like, I don't really care if I make money or not, but I'm at that point. Like, I saw your guys' interview with like Jesse. Yeah. It's very similar story, bro. Okay. Like, I think he got in some shit with like Kyle or whatever. It's very similar. So like with Drip, I'm telling you that it was the most stressful time of my life, even though I was making the most money. A lot of it had to do with like my business partner and I not getting along. He wanted to run the business one way. I wanted to run it another way. And it just didn't really work out as much. And that was the main reason why it kind of all came into play at the right time. And it worked out the way it was supposed to. Sure. It's weird, like hindsight 2020.
Sure. Yeah. So now Quiroz is, your legacy brand. It's just you, no partners, nothing. Like you're gonna push this thing forward on your own.
Yeah, it's just me. So like I've already invested like $100,000 into it so far. Yeah. We're probably gonna go to like 400K total, but this is gonna be a massive company, man.
I saw you got some love from Mike Amiri.
Yeah, Mike Amiri. A lot of people, rappers, a lot of people that follow me. Yeah,
how like so? Was that on your personal? Like how? Like no, I saw the comment.
Yeah. So like that was on my personal, but I think the main thing here is that like I'm getting recognized by people that I've looked up to in the industry. I want to get like fucking Kanye or Drake. That would be sick to like look into my brand.
You're in Jersey City right now.
Oh man, if he's not here though. But like
manifested.
I have a feeling that looking back in like 2 years, I'm gonna watch this and I'm gonna say like, yo, Kanye or Drake is wearing my shit. I truly believe that they're gonna wear.
And these guys, like, okay, like Mike Amiri, does he follow you? Like, or is it like?
I don't know if he follows me or not, but I mean, I've kept up with his work. He's the number one. He's kind of like the North Star of Quiroz because he's competing with big fashion brands like Louis Vuitton, Gucci that have been around for fucking almost 100 years, I think. And he's coming up on 2016 to where he is today in the same places that they are in. I think that that's really dope and it's inspirational. So for sure. So like my approach with luxury is I have branding, creative, marketing skills, and now I can mix all of them up and compete with these people because what Louis, Gucci, and all of them have, they're kind of dinosaurs with marketing. I am in the front face, in the trenches with marketing, and I believe that if I have the right products, I know how to identify my customer, and you have me, it's a machine that's going to work.
I saw you posting saying that this is going to be like the first time in a long time that you go back into the trenches, like actually start running the ads yourself, dude. Like running all that.
I've had a team, and I have a staff that works for me full time, like for just me, not my businesses. Okay. Yeah. And so they're always doing most of the work and stuff like that. But this is the first time where I'm telling them, yo, I'm taking care of this. Don't worry about it. I'm the one that built the site. I'm going to be shipping the first batch of orders to make sure that everything's cool, legit. I'm in the trenches. Doesn't matter how much money I have, doesn't matter where I live, how much I'm chilling, what I have. I'm gonna do everything I can to make this brand successful.
You think the, like, let's say that whole ads world, the Facebook ads world and all that is still gonna be able, like what, like the formula you built is still gonna be able to apply to luxury? Yeah.
I think so, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I already dabbled it. I started a brand called like Life of an Outsider, and we did over $1 million in sales like within a year and a half.
It's insane, bro.
It was like very similar to what I'm doing.
So you've done a little like of a test run on like how to deal with the luxury
I've already did a
market.
test, so I felt it. I know what it is, and that's why I skipped to the very end. Okay. This will be the last clothing brand I ever build for myself. I won't build another one for myself.
And then also, like, I know you run, like you have your course, like it's like a Discord.
It's like a mentorship program.
It's a mentorship program. How does that work? Outside of like, obviously people paying, you're in it, you're giving them all the value and all the sauce. Like, do you work with any of these people on like helping them build their brand beyond like the course? Like, do you ever actually come in, invest, or sort of help people take it to that next level?
Consult, whatever.
No. So like my whole thing with my masterclass, which is called Brand Mentor, is throughout my journey, I got so many DMs of people asking me for help from family too. And it got to the point where it was sad because I didn't have time to help family. I didn't have time to help people that I actually wanted to help, friends that I grew up with. So I basically, instead of writing a book, I created a not only course, a masterclass, and a Discord that has all my connections, resources, everything. My brain, you guys watch this for an hour, but this is like 3 years of work dumped into this. Yeah. And it wasn't even about money. So all my friends in the coaching space and the entrepreneur space have made like tens of millions off coaching, being a guru. And I didn't give a fuck. I don't care. It's $100.
I know it's cheap as fuck. Yeah,
it's $100, but people spend $10,000 for something like this, and I don't care. Like, I've probably made like $400,000 with that, and I've spent it all. Yeah. I've flown people private. I've gone to help them in person. I've thrown 4 events for them that cost me $20,000 each. At the end of the day, I just care about my staff being paid, and I don't care about any money from that. At all.
I saw your little your little party moment in
yeah,
Vegas. I was going to say, fuck,
Vegas.
I got to pull up to one of those, bro. The way this guy's moving, holy fuck,
so
man.
like straight up open bar. Really, like I rented out a bar, bro, in Vegas. That wasn't cheap. And I had an open bar, you know, where it's like $150 per person to do that.
Yep.
With the venue.
And you're taking all these costs on.
I'm taking all the. I don't care about coaching. I don't care about. I just care about providing value. And to me, as long as my staff's paid, it's not costing me anything. That's my way of giving back to people that grew up just like me. Other than that, like my time is the most precious thing that I have. I don't get it back. Most of my time is being spent on my family. And so I don't really do one-on-ones or nothing crazy like that. It's rare. But
like,
this
here's
is the
all
best
my
way.
shit.
Yeah, so if you ever hit me up through DM or ask me, I'm just going to tell you to join my masterclass because that's the only way you're ever going to learn from me.
True.
Yeah.
So now, I guess looking back, because you've given us a beautiful story and you've ups and downs, do you regret anything? Would you have changed anything? Even the Nike shoes?
No.
Would you have done something different?
No, I think everything leads to what it is today, bro.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I think that going through all like the problems, the hurdles, the mistakes that I've made, it all led to where I'm heading at today. And I'll talk about, we'll do another in like a podcast in 3 years.
Make another
and see
50
what
million.
happens.
You'll make another 50 million. We'll sit down.
We'll see what new things I learned. But I think that I don't regret anything. I feel like I'm as smart as I am today because of the mistakes that I've made. And I just learned from them.
And as a business owner, more on that side, what's maybe the biggest thing you've learned from all the businesses that you've been part of up until now?
That you got to invest in yourself. So like your brands, your businesses are not equal to you. They're separate entities from you. You yourself as a human is the more important thing because you fuel your business. Your business follows you. You don't follow your business. So the smarter you get, the more wise you get, it all comes back to your brands or businesses, and eventually they follow you and grow with you. So I started investing a lot into like learning, education, trying to get as smart as possible. And my brands just continue to follow me. So like the more I learn, the more you earn. It's very cheesy, but it's true.
Yes, facts.
That's how it is, bro. And like we're living in a day and age where entrepreneurs think that like entrepreneurship is sunshines and Lambos. It ain't, bro. You got to fucking work hard. And a lot of you guys that are watching this shit, you guys quit in 3 to 6 months. This shit takes fucking years. So you're telling me that you're willing to do this, you want to do this the rest of your life, but you're not willing to give up the rest of your life for it? When you talk about when I was 14, 15 years old, this was my life. I knew I was going to do this shit the rest of my life. You guys are so quick to change your fucking bio like every 3 to 6 months. Crypto guru, Amazon, fucking FBA. Now I'm an appointment settler and all this crazy shit in the DMs, bro. I mean, you need to stick to one fucking thing. It's called mastery, and eventually you're going to get good at it. When you guys first started your podcast, you guys probably had 10 views, 100 views. Yeah. Now you're getting tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views, and you're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you guys were willing to put in the work. This is what it takes. Entrepreneurship is fucking commitment, hard work, and a lot of people are living in this la-la land that they think they could just make money online from anywhere in the world because YouTubers are telling them they fucking can, and that ain't the truth.
It's a lot of entrepreneurship. It's exactly what you said, but I think even another big piece to it is there's so many ups and downs, man. Like you go on a 6, 8, 12-month run of just like, oh my God, I'm fucking, call me Jesus, dude. I'm God. And then all of a sudden it's just, you get slapped, dude. And you're straight down, and everything you built, you feel like you lost it all almost. Yep. And then it's like, you pick back up and you climb that fucking mountain again. Yeah. And it's over and over. It doesn't matter how much money you make, how big you get, how much of an audience you build, how much money your company makes, you're still going to have that. And that's what people forget. I don't think there's anybody like, look at like fucking LeBron James. He builds a whole legacy and he gets injured and he misses a year, and all of a sudden it's like he feels like he's back at day one. Yep. Right? It's those ups and downs. They're there forever. Yeah. So if you commit to the game, that's the game.
People are fucking scared about their fear. They're fearful, okay? That fear that everyone has will never go away, bro. It hasn't gone away. Yeah, it's true. It doesn't matter if you make $7 million a year, 15 million a year, 20 million a year, you're always going to have that fear. What happens is you just get more comfortable with it. Yeah. The fear, the chip on my shoulder, still there. Yeah. I just gotten more comfortable with it. That's all. Yeah. That's all. And eventually, like, you get to settle with it, come to terms that, all right, well, maybe I've made enough. Maybe now it's time to slow down. But as of right now, you know, fire's
full
still
speed
on.
ahead. Yeah, baby, let's go.
You're gonna even think that way ever,
still
bro.
on. Yeah.
Well, very well said, to be honest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're killing it. I mean, we're gonna do a round 2.
Oh, 100%.
Get your new stuff started. We're gonna need some high fashion, no?
Bro,
Jay, what do you
I seen those jeans, bro.
I'm gonna need
I
some
seen
of that.
those
We're gonna
jeans,
have to put
bro.
We'll
I
be
see
the
the
first
jeans.
orders. We'll be the first orders in.
I see the jeans, bro.
I'll hook you guys up.
Of course, but we got one more question.
Yeah.
You want to give it to him?
Well, I want to say thank you so much for flying out to Toronto.
Yes.
You're a fucking G for doing this.
First time in Canada, this man right here.
Yes. Unreal. I appreciate that. When I hit you, I was like, all right, let's see if he's really about it. And you didn't hesitate. You didn't hesitate, bro. You didn't hesitate. You're here. So I appreciate you coming, man. Honestly, it means a lot. And bro, the value that like the audience is going to get from this is fucking
I'm about to start
insane.
a clothing brand, by the way.
Yeah. so that's one thing. So thank you for that. But before we end it, obviously, you know, we're the MBH podcast, Money Buys Happiness. So Frankie, I want to know if you believe money buys happiness.
Man, that's a tough question, bro. I never really got to the end. So basically, like, I think money buys happiness, but in a weird way. Money buys opportunity for you to be happy. It's a tool, and if you use it correctly, it eventually makes you happy. Like, I don't think I've ever bought in things that made me happy, materialistic things. I have all the coolest shit in the world. None of it matters. But when I give it to, like, I know it sounds cheesy and shit, but when I help my family or I, you know, retire my wife, she hasn't worked since 2020. She just takes care of me full time. That shit is what makes me happy. Like taking care of the people that I did this for is what makes me happy. And money had a big part in that. So yeah, money to me does buy happiness.
Yeah, hell yeah. Spit, bro. That's the facts, bro. That's why we're here. Then. Good shit, dude.
My man.
What a fucking run. Thank you, bro, again.
Thank you.
When we're out in LA, we're going to check him too, no?
Yeah. Well, I want to come see the spa, see what you're up to. Like, I know you're going to be building now Quiroz for the whole next portion of your
what's the
fucking
timeline
life,
on that? Like, when you trying to get that, like,
releasing next month. I'm going to China for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Sick.
My team's going to be out there for 2 months, but I'm going out there for 3 weeks to set up shop. And then we're going to do Milan after. So China, Milan.
Get to Italy, bro.
Get
over there. Get over there.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. We'll meet you in Milano, bro.
Oh, hell yeah.
Brother, thank you, man. It's a pleasure, bro.
Thank you.
Jay?